Use your vote.
Use your voice. Use your vote.
Use your voice. Use your vote.
Use your voice. Use your vote. Our country now from thee,
claim we our liberty.
In freedom's name.
Guarding home's altar fires,
Daughters of patriot sires,
their zeal our own inspires.
justice to claim.
I don't see any police today, ladies. I think we're safe. Not like our friend Susan Anthony in 1872. Tell us a bit about your life, Susan, and what happened when you decided to vote.
Now here, ladies, listen. I have always believed there will never be complete equality until women themselves help to create laws and elect lawmakers. Now, in my day, it was considered improper for women to give speeches in public. In fact, many times they threatened to arrest me simply for speaking up. But that did not stop me. I continued to preach against the evils of slavery and in support of women's rights and equality. Elizabeth and I formed the National Women's Suffrage Association, demanding a constitutional amendment giving women the right to vote. And in 1872, I went to the polling booth and I voted. I was promptly arrested, tried, and fined $100 for my crime. And what crime was that? I ask you, what crime was that? Wanting my voice to be heard? Now tell me, ladies, when can voting ever be considered a crime? Because after all, it was we, the people, not we, the white male citizens, but we, the whole people, who formed this union. And we formed it not to give the blessings of liberty, but to secure them. Not to half of ourselves, but to the whole people, women as well as men.
Wow, what an amazing story. Thank you for your courageous leadership. Elizabeth Cady Stanton, you and Susan worked together from the very start of the women's suffrage movement. What inspired you to create that first women's conference at Seneca Falls, New York?
We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men and women are created equal. These are what should have been the first words of the Declaration of Independence. So in 1848, I authored a Declaration of Sentiments with resolutions for moral, economic, and political rights of women, first introduced at Seneca Falls. Now, these ideas were controversial at the time, and we suffragists faced criticism wherever we went. Even the male abolitionists with whom we had fought long and hard to end slavery nearly abandoned our cause when the Civil War ended. But that did not silence us. And I continued to fight alongside my suffragette sisters, trying to gain rights for women, including parental rights and property rights, divorce law, employment rights, and access to education and to birth control. We had to fight because in my time in the United States, he had compelled her to submit to laws in the formation of which she had no voice. And he had made her, if married, in the eyes of the law civilly dead, and he had created a false public sentiment by giving to the world a different set of moral code for men and women. So yes, we fought against these laws, and women continue to fight today. Now I continue to write and fight until the day I died, because the best protection that any woman can have is courage.
Use your voice. Use your vote.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for being such a dynamic champion for women's rights. I only wish that you and Susan could have lived to see us secure the vote. Sojourner Truth, although you were born enslaved as Isabella Baumfree, your deep faith inspired you to sojourn across our nation, preaching God's truth and advocating for emancipation and women's rights. You were also the first African-American woman to win a lawsuit in the United States when you fought for the freedom of your young son who had been illegally sold into slavery. Your values and principles have withstood the test of time. Please share your revelations.
I want to say a few words about this matter. I have as much muscle as any man and can do as much work as any man. I have plowed and reaped and husked and chopped and mowed. And can any man do more than that? I have heard much about the sexes being equal, and I can carry as much as any man and can eat as much too, if I can get it. I am as strong as any man that is now. The poor men seem to be all in confusion and don't know what to do. Why, children, if you have women's rights, give it to her, and you will feel better. You will have your own rights, and they won't be so much trouble. I can't read, but I can hear. I have heard the Bible and have learned that Eve caused man to sin. Well, if women upset the world, do give her a chance to set it right side up again. The lady has spoken about Jesus, how he never spurned women from him. And she was right. And how came Jesus into the world? Through God who created him, and a woman who bore him. Man, where is your part? But man is in a tight place. The poor slave is on him. Woman is coming on him, and he is surely between a hawk and a buzzard.
Use your voice. Use your vote.
Sojourner, you are truly an inspiration for us all. Lucy Stone, you've also been a trailblazer for women. You were well educated and outspoken, even keeping your own name after you married. How did that go over?
From the first years to which my memory stretches, I have been a disappointed woman. Disappointed that I reached for and was denied the same education as my brothers. And when I did put myself through college, upon graduation, I was asked to write the commencement speech that I, as a woman, could not deliver, and found the only professions open to me were that of teacher, seamstress, or housekeeper. I went to work fighting for the rights of Black slaves in the United States, writing and giving public lectures, out-earning men. And when Black men received the right to vote before women, I supported this, to the dismay of my comrades, because disappointment is the lot of woman. And it has been the business of my life to deepen this disappointment in the heart of every woman until she bowed down to it no longer. I wish that women, instead of being walking showcases, instead of begging of their father and brothers the latest new bonnet, would ask of them their rights. Even when we won the right to vote, I was denied it because I refused my husband's surname. The widening of woman's sphere is to improve her lot. So let us do it. And if the world scoff, let it scoff. If it sneer, let it sneer.
I love your passion. You are the original feminist. Luisa Capetillo, you sure ruffled some feathers in Puerto Rico, where you were one of the first suffragists. how did you build support for universal suffrage within the labor movement?
O you woman, capable and willing to spread the seed of justice, do not hesitate, do not fret, and do not run away. Go forward. And for the benefit of future generations, place the first stone for the building of social equality in a serene but firm way, with all the right that belongs to you without looking down. Miembros de Federación Libre de Trabajadores, members of the Free Labor Federation, I, Luisa Capatillo de Puerto Rico, compel you to adopt policy and join me in the fight for women's suffrage. It is 1908. Woman, you are an important factor in human civilization and worthy to obtain complete liberty. All women, not just the rich or literate, should have the same right to vote as men. It is 1910. I travel, I organize, I start the newspaper La Mujer. We, in solidarity, confront women's issues. It is 1919. Although a crime to wear pants, I wore pants in public in Puerto Rico and go to jail for that crime so that future generations can wear them freely. I believe nothing to be impossible, nor do I absorb myself in any particular moment or new discovery. For that reason, I find no idea to be utopian. The essential thing is to put each idea into practice, to begin. My sisters, go forward. Do not hesitate, do not fret, and do not run away until we obtain complete liberty.
Use your voice. Use your vote.
Thank you, Luisa, for breaking ground for future generations. You would have loved the ruckus Alice Paul started in Washington with her Women's March and the Silent Sentinels. Tell us about it, Alice.
Get the word out. I am organizing a huge parade on March 3rd, the day before Woodrow Wilson's inauguration. We will march down Pennsylvania Avenue from the Capitol to the White House. We need banners and floats, bands and equestrians. It will be the largest parade and protest for suffrage that this country has ever seen. And after we're through, we must protest and picket every day at the gates of the White House, standing silently with our signs. Mr. President, how long must women wait for liberty?
Use su voz. Use su voto.
We just heard snippets from the lives of some of the courageous suffragists whose struggle for women's rights spans 7 decades of our nation's history. Please honor the sacrifices of these super heroes. Use your voice and use your vote.